Hi, Janet here. Welcome back to Crafts and Collage. I've been asked a couple of times over the past few months or so if I do artwork as well as crafts, and yes, I do. I do both loose sketching and watercolor and acrylics and tight sketching, more detailed and so on. So I'm going to be posting some of my artwork on my site, and I'll put a link once I have that set up. I have a few pieces to show you. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm not particularly good. I just really enjoy drawing and sketching and painting and so on. So I have a couple of different pieces to show you, and then I'm going to make a collage video. So this is just an interim. Some of my work from a few years back. There's some watercolor. I don't even know if you can see that well. Some watercolor. And then I did a series of writing about places in my childhood home. Scary moments. The laundry chute drove me crazy when I was a kid. Scared the hell out of me. My mother's filing system was in her Dickens books. I may have shown these before. And we always watched the first snowfall. Funnily enough, this is the upstairs window. We used to sit here and watch the first snowfall in the house that I grew up in. And I just finished doing a loose sketch of that a couple of days ago, literally a couple of days ago. This is the house. Here's the window that I drew here. And we used to look out over the front yard and watch the snowfall. So yeah, that was the house. It was kind of a bittersweet drawing it because I realized I was little when we moved here. Like, we moved away when I was 13. And it was very much a huge home when I was a kid. It's very old, and there's around, rotunda and lots of... I was able to play in the attic and stuff, so it was very much a Dark Shadows type house, And so drawing this the other day really brought to my attention how very big things can be when you're a kid, huge, massive, right? So there's the first snowfall, and then the other one was the old piano my mom got for us. So I drew those and wrote out the little piece of, my history, and a couple of faces I drew years ago, and some fantasy pictures drawn on old book pages. Well, the cats just had a fun time with my daughter's dog. Yeah, these are drawn on old book pages, and I took the inspiration from something on Google. A loose rooster. I never did that style before, and then a very cold cabin in the north of Canada where I live, and another very loose watercolor, and one of my favorite faces. I love that face for some reason. And there's the cartoon sort of equivalent. I enjoy doing faces when I'm in the mood, otherwise they turn out crappy. Here are a couple of cartoon faces I did. That's off a tarot deck of cards, and then some caricatures. Never did finish the VW bus. And Mark Twain, one of my favorite writers. The church near my home. The beach scene. Fireplace. And I took this pattern, I drew it from a picture on the web. This one, Mr. Bean, and oh my God, that's terrible. Brad Pitt. Sorry, I could not remember his name for a minute. Oh my God. Okay, and this is off of a little picture I have. Paris street scene sort of thing. And there's a mermaid. And then a beach cottage. Like a Cape Cod kind of thing. And a bridge. And another caricature face. And another one of those. And that's just some of my stuff. Besides that house, I played around with some loose drawings today. This is, I'm sort of breaking in a new sketchbook. So you just grab a picture and draw it. You know, if you're not using it for commercial purposes, you can draw anything you want. And part of what I wanted to talk about today, oh, this is one of my favorite loose sketches. I love her. I think she's great. Is this. I love that. I absolutely love that. It's one of my favorites. And then this one. And this is, I'm not very good at faces, but I try to Viking or whatever, pagan. And a library page. I was playing around with continuations. Another terrible face. Feathers that I love. You get inspiration off the web. Not a bad face. Not bad at all. And a beautiful kind of... I was trying the whole circular thing at the time. A street in Scotland. And a banner I use for one of my blog sites. Little basket that my... See, this is something, the corn dogs. This is something I wanted to talk about for just a minute or two. I don't want to take up much of your time, but there's been a couple of discussions lately about what makes you an artist or what doesn't. And I know I've talked about this before, but it's almost like the expectation these days is that if you do a sketchbook, or you play in a sketchbook, or you draw in a sketchbook, some of us have been doing that for years and years and years. I've had a sketchbook on the go probably most of my conscious life. I used to write in a journal. The original book, Harriet the Spy, just got me going, and I would write everything down, and then I started to draw, and there was years where I didn't and stuff like that. But basically, a sketchbook isn't supposed to be a showpiece. It's not a museum piece. It's not a showing of your best work. It's for you to play in, to work in, to grow in, to practice in, to doodle in, to scribble if you're angry. It's basically a creative outlet. It's not meant, if you want to show your journals and things like that, that's fine, wonderful. And we do have some journals and some books that are, like the big one with the map on the front. You've seen my one collage book. And I keep it for very special kind of pretty pieces. And that's a showpiece, yes. But our sketchbooks are supposed to be a place where we can pick up any writing instrument and just do something if we're so inclined. And it's not really supposed to be for others' eyes. It's more like a creative diary. Now, again, if you want to show your sketchbooks, I do flip-throughs of sketchbooks too. But a lot of them for me are just a playground to grow. I love to draw and I love to paint. I'm not real good at it. There's lots of people I watch, and you know, the envy's there and things like that, but I keep at it. And hopefully at some point I'll get better and better and better. And at that point then I'll feel like showing all my stuff. But for right now I have some sketchbooks where I've just done some growing in them as an artist, as a creator. So don't feel like if you pick up your sketchbook it has to be perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect in a sketchbook. That's supposed to be where you play and develop your talent. So when you approach your sketchbook, don't approach it as though it has to be perfect, because that's not the place for perfection. I hope you guys have a great day.